Hey, this journey of entrepreneurship isn't for the weak. You start noticing that the people closest to you, the ones you'd expect to be your biggest supporters, go quietest when you start doing something different. It's weird. You finally start doing the right thing, start pushing yourself, maybe creatively, maybe physically, maybe spiritually, and then suddenly the energy shifts. It's like people don't know how to handle you stepping into a new version of yourself. They're so used to putting you in this little box. And the thing is, they're used to putting themselves in that box too. So when you finally start doing the right thing, start pushing yourself past those limits, it makes them uncomfortable. And not necessarily because they hate what you're doing, but it's because it forces them to look at themselves. It's like a mirror reflecting back at all the things that they've avoided, the goals that they put off, the dreams they've convinced themselves to be too unrealistic, the changes they've been too scared to make. And instead of them looking at themselves and saying, shit, I should go after my thing, some people would rather downplay what you're doing. Maybe they make little jokes, laugh it off, act like what you're doing is silly or a far-fetched dream. Or maybe they don't say nothing at all, which sometimes feels a lot louder. You post your work, you share your wins, and suddenly the people who used to reply to everything go radio silent. But funnily enough, the people you don't even know, they're the first ones to comment. They're the first ones to repost. They're the first ones to share your wins, the first ones to believe in you before the people who known you your whole life even want to acknowledge it. And it's crazy, but it makes sense. These strangers don't have a version of you they need to protect. They're not stuck in the old you. They just see what you're doing now. And they respect you for it. It inspires them. They don't have baggage of you knowing you from school when you used to do stupid shit, just figuring it out. They just see someone going for it and they love it. Meanwhile, those people who known you forever, they might struggle with the idea that you're evolving, because it reminds them that they could be evolving too, but they haven't. And that's uncomfortable. It's much easier to keep everyone at the same level than to acknowledge that maybe they've been playing too small. But when you start noticing this, when you start realizing who claps for you and who doesn't, it can mess with your head. You start looking at people differently. You start wondering, were they ever really rooting for me? But trust me, it's a dangerous road to go down, because the truth is, not everyone who stays quiet is against you. Some people just don't know how to show support. And some people, they don't fully believe in you yet. Not because they don't think you're capable, but they need to see it to process it. And that might even be your own blood. But then there's the ones who do see it and they don't like it. And those are the ones you need to be aware of, because some people won't support you until other people validate you first. They won't acknowledge you until it's trendy to do so. And those are the same people who, when you finally make it, will suddenly be in your DMs acting like they were there from day one, saying, oh, I know that guy, I know Jack, I know Jacob, I know Tom. We went to school together. And that's why it's important to take those mental notes. Don't be bitter, don't hold a grudge, but understand. Because when your dreams start to become real, when your work finally starts to pay off, when the vision in your head actually starts to happen, you need to know who you need around you and who you need to keep at arm's length, because energy is real. And being surrounded by the wrong energy is just going to throw you off course and drag you down. And here's the most important part of this. You can't let it stop you. You can't let it dim yourself down, because the people around you who aren't ready for it, You can't just shrink so they feel comfortable. You got to keep going, keep building, keep proving yourself to yourself, because the right people will find you. And the ones who fell off along the way, that shit was meant to happen. So if you've been feeling this shift, if you finally started something new and you're starting to be proud of the person that you're becoming, and you're realizing that not everyone around you is as supportive as you thought they'd be, don't take it personally. Take notes, keep moving, because at the end of the day, the ones who are truly meant to be in your corner, they don't need no convincing. They're just going to be there. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Peace.